Friends, welcome to the third part of my amendment series for the November 2020 CA final law exam, law paper, that is the corporate and economic laws. You have to see my first part, which is the overview of the amendment, and second part I was been dealing about the AQD rules, that is appointment and qualification of directors rules amendment. In this third edition, I will be dealing with the amendment with respect to ARMP rules, that is the company's appointment and remuneration of managerial personnel rules, which has been passed in 2014. Now there is an amendment with respect to rules, which is very important for your area, key managerial personnel area, and of course it will be reflecting you in the area called company secretary practice also. Prima facie, there are two amendments which have been brought in the ARB rules. ARB rules, you all know that which deals with the appointment and remuneration of managerial personnel, in which a very two amendment has been introduced. Very important two amendment. One is in Rule 8A, that is a very important rule with respect to the appointment of company secretary. And the second one is with respect to Rule 9 with respect to the mandatory secretarial audit. So friends, now we'll be seeing the first rule. Before I start the lecturing, you must understand that this rule is been with effect from notified with from 3rd January 2020, and it is applicable for all the financial years commencing from 1st April 2020. And this is applicable to your November 2020 CA final examinations. So that dates you should look, because a practical question may ask something like tricky with the dates. So I repeat again, this rule is been with effect from notified on 3rd January 2020, and that is applicable for the financial years starting from 1st April 2020. Now we will see the first amendment, that is in Rule 8A, which speaks about, you all know that, which speaks about the appointment of company secretary, which is a very important provision with respect to your chapter called key managerial personnel in directors area. You all know that rule, whenever we speak about Rule 8, there is you have to speak about something called as Rule 8 also, because Rule 8A is the second part of the appointment of KMB. The first part, just for your information, the first part, Rule 8, speaks about appointment of KMB defined under Section 2, Clause 51, which mandates appointment of MD or CEO or manager one side, and of course the company secretary second side, and third one is the chief financial officer. All the three people has to be appointed as per the Rule 8, and in which the applicability is all listed company, and 2 is all public limited company having more than 10 crores paid up capital. You all know that is all about the Rule 8. Now, what is Rule 8A speak about? Rule 8A is speaking about appointment of CS, appointment of whole-time company secretary. I repeat again, Rule 8 speaks about KMB, that is all the three bunches, MD, CEO, or MD or CEO, CFO, and CS. All together they called as a KMB. So all the three people, or all the three categories has to be appointed in Rule 8. In Rule 8A, you know that the heading of the Rule 8A itself is appointment of whole-time company secretary. So here there is an amendment, because earlier it was all public companies, or all companies having more than 5 crores paid up capital. Now that limit has been changed to 10 crores. I repeat again. Now the limit has been changed to Rule 8A amendment is every private company which has a paid up capital of 10 crore. Earlier it was 5 crore, now it is increased to 10 crore paid up capital, shall appoint a whole-time company secretary, shall appoint a whole-time CS. So I repeat again, many students has a doubt with respect to what is the difference between Rule 8 and Rule 8A. Rule 8 speaks about KMB appointment, all the three categories, MD or CEO, CFO, and of course CS. But Rule 8A speaks only about appointment of whole-time company secretary, and early it was private limited company above 5 crores paid capital. Now the limit has been enhanced to 10 crores. So that is very important. So whenever you study CS provision or KMB provision, you must don't forget about to differentiate between Rule 8 and Rule 8A. So friends, that was the amendment. The limit of 5 crores for the paid up capital in the case of a private company has been elevated or increased to 10 crores. So it's a relaxation basically. Now, professionally speaking, yeah, it is relaxation. Many private limited companies now need not want to appoint a whole-time company secretary due to this amendment in Rule 8A. But at the same time, compliance area, there is no issue, because what happens is, while this amendment of Rule 8A brought in, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs also brought in amendment in Rule 9, which speaks about mandatory secretarial audit. You all know that Section 204 speaks about mandatory secretarial audit, in which the limit of which category of company a secretarial auditor is to be appointed, or a secretarial audit report has to be prepared and filed in form number MR3 has now been changed. Rule 9 has been amended. A third category has been reduced. Earlier there was, this was the earlier limit before the amendment. All public limited company having 50 crores more paid up capital. Then all public limited company having turnover of 250 crores paid up capital. That was the second trigger. There was only two triggers for applicability for second audit. Now the third category has been. What is the third category? The third category has been introduced with respect to outstanding borrowings and loans. So friends, this is the new category which has been introduced by amendment in Rule 9. Now there is a third category of companies which has to mandatorily conduct second audit. That is every company, either it is a private company or a private company having outstanding loans or borrowings from banks or financial institution above rupees 100 crores. So this is an area which I expect this time in November 2020 CA examination, where the institute will obviously touch upon this aspect, because there were situations where the institute asked the applicability of second audit. So this is an area, new area where there is an amendment. Now there is a third category of company. The first category already there, that is the public limited company having paid up capital of rupees 50 crore or more, and second one was on the basis of turnover having 250 crores or more. Now third category has been introduced on the basis of the criteria, on the basis of the outstanding loans or borrowings. And this category is not only restricted to public company, this category is applicable to private company as well as public company having more than 100 crores outstanding loans. So that is the amendment. I repeat again, Rule 8A amendment about appointment of holding company secretary, Rule 9 about mandatory sectoral audit. You all know the sectoral audit report SAR has to be filed in MR3 form with ROC. So friends, now the question is the date of reckoning these capitals. So there is an explanation added to that. All this clarification with respect to computation with respect to paid up capital, turnover or outstanding loan, all the three things which is specified in Rule 9 is now to be reckoned on the basis of the existing as per the latest audited balance sheet. You all know that. Basically there was a confusion which balance sheet date we have to take. So it is now been clarified in the new amendment that the date or the reckoning figure which you have to refer is from the existing on the last date of the latest audited financial statement. So last date audited financial statement, you have to look if the trigger of the capital or turnover or outstanding borrowing is above the threshold limit stated in the new Rule 9, then secretarial audit is mandatory. So friends, this is my third edition of the amendments, series of amendments with respect to CA Final Law paper, November 2020 examination. Today, this was all about the IIMBx rules amendment. Please watch the other videos also so that you can have the control over the whole amendments. We will see it soon with a next edition with another amendment. So long as stay healthy and stay wealthy. So I hope that everyone is on track to preparing to their November 2020 examinations. Thank you.